Great. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome. I'd love to know if you can hear me, where you're calling in from. I'm calling in from Mallorca, Spain. If you haven't practiced with me before, so it's 7 p.m. here, but this meditation is great to do any time of day. Really nice as a transition. First thing when you wake up, before you go to bed. Yeah, if you can give me maybe even just a thumbs up or a heart that my sound's working okay. I've given up trying to use a microphone. It seems to work just fine to use the computer speakers for the music that we're going to play. Wi-Fi looks good. Hi, Lori, welcome. Great, so we'll just I think we have maybe 15, 20 people planning to come, so we'll just give everyone a few minutes to come in. I say this every time, but I still think it's just so incredible that we can gather here from all the corners of the world. And I really like to picture that insight timer map of little beams of light from every place that we're calling in. For those of you that I haven't met yet, my name's Anna. I'm a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher and sound healer. And I've been living on Mallorca for the better part of the last decade. And really important to me to be able to share these practices in a way that's accessible for everybody. The past few weeks, we've kind of been dipping our toes in all different types of meditations, typically from the Kundalini yoga lineage. That's what I tend to teach, but, and I've said this before, really nice that you don't have to believe anything, you don't have to subscribe to anything. These are experience-based practices for you to have an experience of your own body, your mind, your prana, your energy. Take what resonates with you, and then you can leave. Today, we're going to be working with the subtle body. We've worked with the arc line, we've worked with the breath, we've worked with the nervous system a lot. I think people have been feeling quite overwhelmed given everything that's going on. So having a way to fortify our nervous system and very quick and effective meditation practices that we can take into our everyday life to do if we live in a crowded or a noisy place, or if we're very busy with work, kids, life. And that's the idea here. We're going to practice a meditation that can be taken, we might start with 3. We'll see how long. I think we're going to do 9 minutes of it, but you can do it for as little as 3 minutes, up to 9 minutes, 31 minutes, 62 minutes, and it can be very helpful. So we'll be working with some repetitive arm movements while seated. This can be done in a chair, you can be sitting in your bed, on the floor, in a meditation posture, whichever you'd like. And then some repetitive arm movements along with a mantra. And we'll be working with a pretty powerful breath through the O mouth, inhaling, exhaling through the O mouth, and then listening to a mantra that will help us stay on rhythm with the arm movements. And if you're new to Kundalini meditation, it can look quite different from seated, still, very internal meditation. We actually do a lot with the breath and body. So somewhat of the charm I find, for lack of a better word at the moment, is to really come into almost a self-hypnosis or a trance that lets us go into the mantra, go into the sound current, go into the experience of our own breath. So that's what I wanted to say about that. So we'll be working with the subtle bodies. In the Kundalini yoga lineage, we work with all 10 bodies, and we can go into that another time. And we'll be working with the subtle body, which is the 9th out of the 10 bodies. And it is very subtle. It's hard to explain in comparison to into some of the other bodily energetic systems that we work with. We've done radiant body meditations, and what are the benefits of that? When you think of working with your radiant body, it's those types of practices that give us this glow or this radiance or this magnetism. Or we work with the arc line, which really helps us with our mental projection or our focus in life. We work with the pranic body, which is of course giving us energy and vitality. And the subtle body is just that, it's very subtle. And I read recently at some point that in mathematics, when we talk about infinity, another word for that in mathematics is undefined. And so I think the subtle body is that's something nice to keep in mind when we're talking about the subtle body, because it is infinite. It is vibratory in nature. It's all pervading. It's all around. And there's almost a frequency or a sonic map, if if you will, of each person. So we'll be working with that, as well as the arc line. We're going to be working in a movement that goes right over the halo or the arc of the human body. So it's really to give us a sense of knowing. There's a phrase or a few words associated with each of the 10 bodies, and for the subtle body, it's mastery. So mastery over our own senses, our own intuition, and mystery. And I like to think of this mystery component as when you walk into a room and you have a really good sense of how things are. You sense how you feel there, you sense who's around you, whether it's a good or a bad interaction, really just how we feel the vibe. Anyways, so I won't talk anymore. The idea is to do this meditation for 9 minutes. You can bring it down to as low as 3 or up to 31 and then 62 minutes. Because this is from the Kundalini yoga lineage, we will need to tune in. So this is very similar to the opening mantra of Ashtanga in that it's opening our practice, bringing us online to this set of practices and really acknowledging the divine wisdom within, without, and to all of the teachers that have carried these teachings for us to practice them here today. So without further ado, sorry, that was more talking than I planned to do, but I really love this practice and I find it so beneficial. So if you have questions, let me know. I'll also be playing music once we start the meditation, and let me know how the volume is so we can get on a good rhythm for you all out there. You can come into whichever meditation posture that you'd like. You can have a cross-legged seat. You can be sitting with your legs stretched out if that's more comfortable for you. You can be sitting against a wall in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. And you can begin to rub the palms together. And then bring them into heart center. Thumbs are resting gently along the sternum. And you can close the eyes and tuck the chin in gently to the neck. We'll take a few deep inhales and exhales all together as we check in with our posture. Inhale deeply through the nose, fill up. And gently hold at the top. And exhale, allow the shoulders to melt down the spine. Root through the tailbone, down into the earth, please. Just take a few more breaths on your own cadence. If you feel safe, you can allow the eyes to close to begin to turn inward. And we'll be tuning in, as we say, with the mantra Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. Just typing it in the chat if you'd like to chant along. Otherwise, you can just sit, listen, and receive. And we'll inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath if you're able. Hold it at the top. Sip in a little bit more air if you can through the nose. Feel your heartbeat against your thumbs. Feel the suspension, the ribs expanded 360 degrees. One more hold. And exhale. Good. Great, so we'll go straight into the meditation. We're going to be doing an arm movement along with a very short, simple mantra, HUD. So that's H-A-R, but almost sounds like H-U-D when we're listening to it. So that's the mantra. And we'll have the hands out to the side with the palms facing up. And we're going to be listening to a beautiful tantric HUD track that will have a rhythm of this mantra. And so the arm movements are going to be up overhead. Let me scooch a little back so you can see. Up overhead, and then the palms are going to come together right above the crown of the head. And it's always going to be the left palm smacking the top of the right. Not too hard or aggressively, but the movement will be like this. And we'll bring the hands above the head as we hear the mantra HUD. So it'll be HUD, left hand over right. HUD, left hand over right. Good. So that's the arm movement. The next component to add will be the breath. So it's going to be a strong inhale and exhale out through the mouth. So we call this an O mouth breath. So it's going to be, here, I'll give you a little bit more view of my hands. Inhale, exhale. Left hand over right, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll be moving the hands overhead with the HUD. So go ahead and get in position. Just give yourself, it's a lot going on. Give yourself a few moments to get with the rhythm. Let me know how the sound is for you. And remember, the O mouth breath is forceful. Inhale through an O mouth breath. Exhale through an O mouth breath. Play the music for you so you have the beat. Let me know if it's too loud, and begin. HUD, HUD, HUD. Keep going. Take breaks if you need to. And we're gonna do this just for 3 minutes. I forgot how fast this track is. So keep going, really give it your all. Make sure that the hands are not touching the ground. Left palm over right, and then back to hovering above the ground. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You're over halfway there. Please stop if you feel dizzy. Otherwise, if you feel a change of temperature or tingling in the fingers, this is normal. Keep going, you're almost there. Forceful breath. If you need to take it slower, please do. Any movement is good. Any movement towards the direction of clarification. More seconds. Go through this experience. Focus on the mantra. Good. Clasp the hands, bring them overhead as you inhale deeply. Hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. Exhale out the mouth, O mouth breath. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale deeply. Hold, eyes are closed, rolled up and in, focusing on the third eye. Hold, 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 hands are clasped overhead. 1 more time. Good, exhale, relax. Find a meditative posture and please remain still. And just breathe deeply, eyes are closed. Begin to meditate on this concept of the subtle body. This that you are connected to through consciousness and through your meditative mind. And that when we clarify the subtle body, we become intuitively more able to guide ourselves on the path of destiny. The subtle body is mastery and mystery. Mastery and mystery. And what does working towards this mastery bring us? But just a state of calm. State of connectedness. And to have a hold of the subtle information we're sending out into our environment. It is said that doing this meditation, just as little as 3 minutes a day, can give us a countenance that is bright and shining. Move energy through the subtle body so that we can find this calmness. We clarify, become clear, to make clear our mind. To bring good fortune into our lives. Please rub the hands together gently. Bring them to heart center, bow the chin, bow towards your hands, towards your body, towards your heart. Feel yourself rooted into the ground below you, yet extending up. Crown reaching towards the skies, the great infinite cosmos. And we'll tune out and close this meditation, this short practice with the mantra Sat Nam, recognizing that this truth, this cosmic truth, is our true essence, is our true identity. Please inhale. Satnam, thank you for practicing. If this is your first time exploring meditations of the Kundalini Yoga lineage. This was quite an intense, short but intense introduction. There are thousands of practices, some that are like this, some that are not, but a very wide array. So if this one didn't resonate or you didn't enjoy it, that's okay. There are so many more, and I really encourage you to explore them. If you have any questions about what we just practiced, or the mantra, or about this type of meditation in general, I'd love to stay on for a few minutes and connect with you. Otherwise, have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope you feel clarified, strong in your arms, and with a little bit more energy from your breath. There are quite a few tantric HUD tracks that you can do or practice this meditation, or just listen to if you like the mantra. And this is one of my favorite ones that I had planned in my mind to do for this meditation. I forgot just how fast it is. There are some that are a little bit slower, which makes it easier to sustain with that breath. So I apologize that was really running out of the gates, sprinting, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you, Lori. Thanks so much for enjoying. I'd also love to know, I hope to do at least one of these meditations on Insight Timer. I really love this community once a week. If you have anything that you're curious about, or any practices or parts of the bodies, mind, spirit, that you'd like to work on, please let me know. And it's a great place for me to start and plan my next live next week, probably on Monday evening or Tuesday. How are you feeling out there? Yeah, definitely. You can do this at whatever pace works for you. The O-mouth breath, especially when it's done like this, where it becomes almost a breath of fire, can cause you to be lightheaded. So to make sure you're safe, you can do it against a wall, or just take slower. It's if some people like that feeling, and that's okay too. But yeah, make sure you do it in a way that is safe and sustainable for you. The idea is to be able to sustain it for longer periods of time. Great. Well, there's nothing specifically that you're wanting to explore or meditate with or learn more about. I'll just pick something and then hope that you join me next week for my next live. I do hope to record some more content for here. It's been maybe 4 or 5 years since I uploaded a new meditation, but I just so enjoy the live community and connecting in this way. So for now, that's what I'm doing. All right, well, thank you all for meditating with me. Have a beautiful evening or morning wherever you are. Sat Nam.